friends, one more time. We're now diving into an elimination match here in our NA region. So we're here joined by Jake and Johnny, and we're about to watch TSM going up against Avidity. Avidity, we just saw them coming off of a brutal loss from the upper bracket match against Toronto Defiant. It wasn't theirs to win, but still a 3-0, you gotta shake that off. You gotta be able to shrug this off, like reset your mind, and then look ahead. How do they stack up against their opponents here, Jake?
You know, I think Avidity are the underdogs in this match. I think TSM have been in form. At the same time, though, we saw big moments from Bun and Wub on the DPS, performing well, even at times against Toronto Defiant, which is no mean feat. Tools as well, looking solid on the Orisa supports, understanding the meta well. So I don't think they're going to be a pushover squad. I think it's all going to be all about the teamwork and about having a few moments of individual pop-ups, right? We need some of these opening picks from the DPS. We need some explosive performance there. But in the end, this is a comp that's a lot on the team play and of these big macro movements. So support's got to have a clean game.
Yeah, and Johnny, you mentioned how important this victory is for TSM. Of course, it's important for both of them because, you know, their tournament life is on the line. But TSM, they have to make a statement. They are the favorite coming into this.
Yeah, I mean, they took a loss early on in the tournament to Nightmare, a team who they are competing with for a Stockholm spot, a slot in the top 3. And this is a team that has a lot of points because of their success this year. Liar was part of that EMEA team in stage 2 that was so successful. We've seen Riker, of course, combining with Rocket. They got second in stage 1, right? And so I feel like I have high expectation for this team. This was one of those rosters that was supposed to compete for top 3 in North America, right? But instead it's been NRG who's established himself as a top team in the region. It's been Nightmare who's combined, you know, Seeker, Zero, who's combined a lot of individual skilled players to be a top 3 team. And now TSM, they find themselves like from the outside looking into the top 3. But I feel like I have pretty high expectations of this team. I think they're really talented individuals, and this is a meta where a team like TSM, I feel like they should pop off.
That's right. Well, let's take a look at our predictions. We just all mentioned it. You know, TSM is the favorite coming into this series. But I voted with my heart, okay? I want to see Avidity to come out on top. I don't listen, like this is just my heart.
Don't get so defensive.
You know, just do it for fun. No, but seriously, I think this is obviously a much more evenly matched matchup for them. I don't think it's fair to judge them on what we got to see against Toronto Defiant. Again, that was not theirs to win. I think if there is a match to win, it will be this one. And I want to have faith.
I respect it. I respect it, Zoe.
I want to have faith.
I think this is actually going to be maybe a closer match than it seems on paper. However, pound for pound, TSM, if anything, I feel like they may have been underperforming to this point, right? Like, I feel like you look at just the names on this team, I'm like, man, this is this team that I feel like should be competing in the top 3, right? Like, they should be pushing really deep into the tournament. So I think they're the favorite here, but I am always a little worried. I think their team performance, you know, they've changed rosters so much throughout the year. There's a lot of pressure on them representing a big name like Team Solo Mid in Overwatch. Like, there's a lot of little small factors that kind of pull against them, and it's going to take an individual masterclass from the players. It's going to take a team performance to come together despite being sort of new in terms of like all the different pieces coming together on this roster.
Yeah, I'm predicting TSM to win this one as well. In particular, I'm looking out for King in this particular case. About a year ago, I messaged a few people in the North American scene like, hey, you know, what do you think about King? And a few people told me that they think King is one of the best Genjis in the region, right? And now it's really time to show that off. Instead, you have the likes of Zero, Sugar Free, who are standout players on this hero. This should be a meta where Genji is really powerful, so it's time to pop off King and show us what you got.
Pop off, King.
Pop off, King. But also fun. Can also pop off, just saying. See, 32%, I don't think that's actually too wild.
No, I think this is kind of how I see the match too. I think TSM individually should be stronger, but this is a team play meta, right? We talk about a lot of the individuals. I think Genji is probably like the biggest sort of individual performer in the comp, but even the hit scan at times is like just getting bowled over by a strong rush from like Brig and Orisa, and your aim's not saving you. It takes team play, it takes support, coordination, and because that's the focus, I think Avidity have a real shot.
Well, let's see what our casters have to say about this one. Jen, Jack, how do you feel they stack up, you know, pound for pound? Is there any hopium, copium, any
There's an X factor there.
Come on.
A rad X factor.
Hey-oh.
Rad X.
You kill me. You kill me, Jack.
What's wrong with that? That was good.
Not so bad.
That was good.
11 out of 10, no notes. Continue.
I can.
So, thanks. At least Zoe's backing me up here. Jeez. This guy, man, he's just spoiled.
No,
sport.
this guy.
This guy? I'm my guy. You're your guy. You just take the fight. Johnny, goodbye. Desk out. Producer said it. Desk out. Radx Avidity versus TSM here in the lower bracket, Jen. Yeah, this is TSM, a team that everyone expected to do extremely well. But, you know, Nightmare, pretty strong in their own right after beating them a little bit earlier on. Where do you really line up TSM against the rest of North America right now?
Well, at least for this matchup, I think there's other factors to consider. The fact that Rad Avidity just got beat up by Toronto Defiant. They got, like, their spawn room doors touched. Like, that's a lot on the mental. I feel like if this match happened yesterday, this would be a lot closer. But now you got to worry about the mentals of Rad Avidity, of how you kind of take that in stride. TSM come in fresh. And we got to remember that Rad Avidity won against Citrus Nation. They, like, were reaching peaks that were really surprising. I think a lot of people thought Citrus Nation were going to be the ones that came out of that Rad Avidity series. And Rad Avidity were down 1-2 against Citrus Nation. We're able to come back. So I see Rad Avidity being resilient enough to, if this is their last showing, to really go out with a bang. But yeah, TSM are the big favorites, and it'll be a lot on Bund to Genji up against King, but for now it may just be Tracer versus Fair potentially.
We'll see Bun. All right, Tracer, yep. Called it perfectly there. Double Diva as well, okay. Most teams opting for kind of a counter pick here, and Orisa, and then one side goes a little bit more dive. Loving this look though, we saw this from TSM. Seen this from a few teams actually. Squid on the Zen. Okay. It's a lot of upfront damage. Even the Tracers have something to fear.
Yeah, for TSM to take as much space as they are with the Zen, like this poke is really ruining Rad Avidity, who are trying to stay in cover as a reaction to the presence of Afara, playing under covers, playing through the hallway. But how Rad Avidity emerge is going to be a problem. Tools has to save Matrix to, well, protect himself, but maybe try to pressure this Diva down, and now the Zen is isolated.
Yeah, you lose Meg though. And King takes out Bun as well to start the fight off. TSM just protecting a Squig as long as possible. You saw Riker doing no damage there, was just holding the Matrix over Squid. And Squid was like one for so long. Pretty nice an early pick off from King. They end up getting the point as well. And now Radx Avidity. Can Bun actually stick to Squid and force Riker's hand to use that Matrix on the Zen?
Yeah, how they're able to find Squid, even just the Diva, Tools could easily solo that, but not a lot of, like, concusses, or I should say CC for TSM to throw back at this Diva. So seems like TSM's backline is in a lot of trouble. Tools should easily get some finishes here, gets back to the point with a lot of HP, and even an orbital ray to keep them back.
Yeah, a couple of rays coming through, but Squid's Transcendence going to keep everybody alive and well on the point for TSM. Look at King, I mean, just boosts through the choke straight onto Nenwai. Just absolutely dominated the Brig. Those double damage rockets really making it hurt. And then on top of that, hey, you got the barrage as well. It's going to be a cheeky stagger.
You gotta finish your food, man. You gotta finish your kills. Squid was 1 HP. Tools went back for heals, and then Bun didn't go back there, probably busy doing something else. But Squid being able to come back with Transcendence single-handedly swung that fight for TSM, because that came out after the orbital ray from Scuffed. So kind of a flopped fight for Rad Avidity, who despite that started off with an advantage, but now they're back in cover, trying to stay safe from the bar.
Wob is taking a very harsh angle here, just instantly deleted by Squid. They do end up trading, however. That Bob, at least, proving a small nuisance for TSM. Point almost capped as well by Bun. King pretty low, high in the sky. Twelves takes him out, and Bun, she has got the pulse bomb. The flip ends up coming through before the pulse bomb is even required. Couple of blinks there, straight onto Liar. Easy blink, smack, and recall.
Yeah, King's gonna swap. Attacking Farah is so rough on this map, especially against Etskin as good as Wub. But now King can follow through with this initial damage and get the proper executions, because King hasn't really had an impact this match on the Farah. It's just really good support play out of Rad so far.
Good self-destruct, just back up for Radx Avidity. They got the rally as well. TSM got roughly the same in the bank, but these very low percentage support ultimates for TSM means this fight is going to be rather tough for them. High Noon popped first. Vision spotted, a stick comes through, and Vision just explodes as Bun hits the recall and gets away with it. Liar unable to chase up that kill.
really risky for Bun to go for that because the Vision 180s, like Bun would have been dead there, but great moment to pounce as she's been popping off on the Tracer. I don't get to see the Bun Tracer too much, but that plus the rally gives Rad the win, but still having to approach the score. It's pretty tough. TSM don't have much to work with. They will go to the Arista to have more pushing power on the front line.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, right, they only need to win one fight, 84%. That's Radix Avidity end up losing the point, and then maybe even stagged out a little bit. It'd be a very rushed OT for them. Slowly but surely, though, they're trying to bait TSM to drop. Still no support ultimates for TSM either, and Scuffed has got this orbital ray. Small bit of pressure from the Genji. King forcing a rotation, but here comes the orbital ray. There's a lot of damage in the front line, and an easy quick kill for Bun onto Vision. Those little torpedoes coming out from the Juno connecting with the Cassidy. It's an easy target for the Genji to kind of dash on. 12's in a little bit of trouble, just get booped away. Matrix being used to his full effect as Liar and the rest of TSM are trying to now get a different angle onto Radix Avidity. End up using the Ray on the points. A blade earned from King as with a 99% flip. Now Radix Avidity can't lose anybody else. Nemwhite going down super late. It's going to be disastrous. They can't lose anybody. Bun gets out with 1 HP, but we're in an OT fight and they're rallying into their spawn. Lies taking the fight to them as Scuffed also ends up falling. Radix Avidity with only its self-destruct and Wubs high noon. They don't even get the final fight that they thought they had.
Such a smart disengage from TSM initially when Scuffed popped the orbital ray. Rad were running them down. TSM just left, and Rad only killed Vision, allowing TSM to get such a quick re-engage, winning that, and then getting the stagger kills to have the confidence if you're TSM to run past those doorways. Usually you don't want to go into that little room at all. You just don't know what's going to be on the other side. You lose Vision easily, but TSM getting those stagger kills is what really won them, and those swaps too to get off the far to go to the Genji helped give TSM a lot more brawl potential, but Rad not pushing those limits with the orbital ray. They didn't want to take that risk, but the risk paid off for TSM's half.
All right, quick TPs out. Bun, Cass, Wub, Cass, Bun, Genji, sorry. Kingfire, Vision, Cass. A lot of one-syllable names there. Bun taking a fair bit. Look at the aggression coming through from Riker. Mega health pack taken. No CDs left. Oh, Spear almost sends Wub off the map. That's Riker just kind of hinting into the backline there. I'm not sure he received any heals from his own backline, I would imagine. That was all on 12s there, holding the TSM DPS and support at bay. Very aggressive push. Can TSM come up with kills? It looks like they managed to at least get 12s. King has capped the point as well on what was an unbelievable, what seemed to be overextension by Riker. Still TSM held onto this fight somehow.
TSM are running at Rad Avidity, forcing them to split up. Like, Nenwai was trying to be the glue to this team. Like, as Wub, Riker was trying to trade 1-for-1 with Wub, wasn't able to because of Nenwai. And as Rad are trying to be aggressive again, Nenwai is there to provide the limited healing that they can. So Rad had a closer affair because of good support play, but it's TSM having the damage living on and being more unified on that front. White Room push now for Rad with an orbital ray first from Scuff, but against a rally from Liar.
Yeah, double DPS, double support ultimate, sorry, for TSM. There's the rally. There's the ray from both sides as well. Liar looking for some boot kills, but that King barrage right up into the sky. Radix Avidity didn't see that one. I mean, that is just a very quick team wipe. Pretty much blowing everything in that fight for TSM. Oh, high impact ultimates used. And why no rally, although to be fair, probably would have been deleted instantly. So maybe Radix Avidity thanking themselves that they didn't have to pop that one.
Yeah, 3 ults for TSM, but winning that super quickly. Big silver lining for Rad Avidity, going through the bridge now.
Really good stun from Nemwhite there. Hits 3 people, I think. And Bun just cleans up. Just so many resets. And another one. Bun. I mean, this is what you want from your Genji, right? Just get into the back line as soon as these stuns, these low health targets come through, get the execution, stay alive. Jobs are good and didn't even have to pop blade.
King back on the far, maybe realizing if they can just poke down this Genji, maybe it'll keep Bun in her place, not wanting to be as aggressive if you're always below half HP because of random rockets. And King's Fire, of course, the barrage earlier was huge, but TSM had to combine that with an orbital ray and rally, but Kings found those really good moments.
No.
Deadeye, though, will keep TSM back.
Was that 2 boot kills? One from Liar, one from Riker. Well, that's one way to end a team fight.
Yeah. The Deadeye did not keep them back. That's really the danger of going through white rooms, not through white room, through the bridge. You want to go through white room so you don't have that fear as much, and you have a lot more covered that way. But I can see the hesitation from Brad going up against the Farah to not want to be in a barrageable spot. Here comes Riker, my
Two
God.
Beyblades looking at each other. There's the Terror Surge. Yeah, the increased damage. That'll do it. Then why? Then why's off the map though? All good, it's only the brig. Liar 2. Getting killed by Scuff there on the exit.
You got a bun blade, and being able to defend with this is nice. I think Kings had a hard time approaching, but Riker needs to also not int down the bridge, especially if you know they have orbital ray. Maybe just being okay with taking a long fight and not always have to initiate, especially when you have point control, which TSM no longer have because of that. So look out for this bun blade, but orbital ray, Squid is looking for good vision on the enemy team.
Oh, the blade, the speed ring is so good, but Bun's still in the backline doing immense amounts of damage. Liar's already dead. Almost got the second slash there. Off onto King, but it's Scuff that finishes off the Farah. 70%, that Bun blade just vanilla too. I mean, no Terror Surge, no mixed ultimates with it. Not even an orbital ray, but still managed to get damage in. Forces TSM to go for a reset. Radix Avidity trying to escalate this next engagement and put themselves in final fight position. It's gonna be hard though.
5v4, finally TSM go in.
Oh, that is a lot of bunches.
Wow.
That is some insane damage. Okay, well, the rally's going off in that small room, but Squid's ray and this overhealth coming through might be good enough for TSM just to take the win. Barrage in the back of 12s, and that'll do it. TSM with a 2-0 on control.
Weird tempo from both teams, but that's just as the kids call a Mickey Mouse map sometimes, where it's just
Facts.
you're not going to see teams really peak on control, like Riker running it down at moments, and then Rad and then Bun trying to Dragon Blade the spawn. Like, it's okay when you have point control to wait for the team to come to you and really wait for a better Dragon Blade opportunity, and then dashing in solo like that. And even TSM, once they killed Bun, kind of 5v4, took their sweet time to just orbital raid down. So not the cleanest map by both teams, but still a 2-0 win for TSM. But also a good sign that Rad Avidity are back to a more normal form. I think they are playing a lot better now than how they did against Toronto Defiant. Different opponent, but I was worried about what Rad were going to look like out the gates.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to tell, kind of what we said in the Toronto series, right? Tell the strength of a team when you are facing the caliber of team like Toronto Defiant. So there you go. Kind of swinging up here. TSM wanting to make it to Stockholm, of course. Ideally, they just make it through the bracket, right? You end up winning. You get that free spot. Even with Toronto, you know, looking as good as they are, there's still always a chance. See if Radix Avidity take us somewhere more favorable to
that
Bun's.
Deadeye too.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that playing on the bridge like that. Tale as old as time in Overwatch, I'm going to be honest. This damage is absurd too. One little burst and one little torpedo. It's kind of insane. Pretty close to fair overall, though, in terms of stats as well, there, Lemon.
Yeah, just realizing that Rad gifted TSM 2 fights, one with Bun Dragon Blading in and Wub Deadeyeing down the bridge. Like, Rad just were not patient enough to let TSM come to them. TSM just waited at the bridge for someone to jump at them and then ran it down. So TSM, the patience paying off at some moments, although they may need to calm Riker down at some moments. That Orisa's getting a little
Riker was inting into the back line.
Yeah.
Nothing was stopping Riker. Hey, it worked out sometimes. If your Orisa's in the back line distracting 2 or 3 people, you're chilling. Maybe.
They won,
if the enemy Orisa
so maybe won't
isn't doing
complain.
the same thing. And then you just kind of end up in this weird everybody shoot the enemy team's Orisa mode. We'll have to wait and see where Radix Avidity want to take us. Of course, you know the map pool by now, but yeah, maybe favoring something a little bit more Bun favored. Bun favored. Yeah, I think that's the sentence. Maybe.
They do like Kings Row. They picked this against Citrus. Didn't work out for them there. They've picked Hanaoka. So it's a lot of different options. Seemed like Rad like to really go for Orisa-based maps and really believe in that mirror. And I think really it's going to be about tempo and just not taking too much initiative. And if you are really committing as a team is important, not letting Bun just solo blade or not letting Wub just get shoved off the map if he's walking up with Deadeye. Like whatever crazy idea Rad come up with, the team has to be on board.
Hey, I would like to see a little bit more Widow play from both sides, but that'll be we'll have to wait and see if that's going to become a thing. King's Row is the pick by Rad X Avidity. Curious what King's going to play here too. I think having King on the Pharah honestly is just such a boon for TSM. Definitely something that a lot of teams aren't playing currently. It's normally like hard hit scan, hard Genji a lot of the time, following what the Korean meta is kind of shaping out to be as well. As we load on in. And I do, especially on Control, Lijiang Tower is like the perfect map for it. I would say a little bit less so on King's Row. It's much harder. Although if you do end up taking the high ground away from the defenders, the Pharah becomes a lot easier to pilot. But it's all on the hit scans, especially on this first stage, and the Orisa's kind of battling for that space. But it looks like we are going to see King on the Pharah and Vision on the Ashe as they start out on defense.
Yeah, King's Row can be a bit of a struggle sometimes for the Pharah. There's not a lot of natural cover. Of course, you play around the hotel and swing around that roof, but it's really about understanding what positions your team has and fighting for the power positions that Pharah can do, especially on the flank. Like that top window that we're looking at, once the point is capped, that's an important position for Bun and King to take, because Barrage on the flank or Bun jumping past that, it's going to be about positioning for King, because there's not a lot of natural cover, and Wub's going to maybe take advantage of this with the Widow.
All right, Wub Nation. Be prepared. Changing for the Widowmaker. Cassidy, okay. Yeah, you do need to pressure the Pharah out, to be fair. It's hard for Bun to do that on the Genji. Cassidy makes the most sense. Or even an Ashe. Just like that.
Yeah, King just playing around the roof and not taking the second body shot is nice. TSM pre-split. Rad fighting for the high ground. Here they go to set up Wub in the best position to get sightlines on King.
Riker, how did Riker get out of that? Wub ideally needs this high ground, but settles for the point for the time being. Dodging out of the way of that spear. Looks like King is spotting this rotation now. Yep, Wub straight gets out of there instantly. Doesn't want to get headshot again. It's hard to fight the Pharah down these small corridors, though. She can just peek fire, peek fire, peek fire. Oh, hello. Didn't expect me here, did you? Riker now shoving Rad X Avidity off of this high ground as TSM now fight on the point. No one has died just yet. Slowly but surely we'll get there. And this will probably do it, though. There it is. First kill to King. Bun goes down. These orbital rays crossing each other on the point. Everybody kind of swapping sides here, making full use of it as the Bob is deployed in the choke point for TSM. It's going to replace King, at least for the time being. Looks like they're going to reset as well as Rad X Avidity backing off without Wub. It's going to be tough to really push in as Bun has now switched over to a Pharah of their own.
Trying to match it as best as they can. Don't get to see a lot of Bun Pharah, but something to weaken TSM would be ideal.
Oh, that barrage is really nice. Twos is stuck in that animation of the ultimate. So a lot of damage came in, so Twos immediately had to exit the fight. 2 minutes to go as TSM are just kind of working Rad X Avidity in the neutral. They know Twos is behind them too. Like, they're so split currently. If they kill Twos right here, they're going to be in a good spot. Looks like he's going to receive backup in just a moment. His Bun goes down yet again to Vision. Second time in a row, she's just been picked out of the sky.
It's very tough to play Pharah. There's not a lot of cover, like I said, so you got to be in close to cover around a wall as soon as you take that initial body shot. But Vision, Wub, such good hit scans that are making King and Bun's life a living hell. And Twos being bait may work out for Rad.
Another orbital ray from Squid. Scuffed as well, just lays one down. There it is. Wub finds two. Everybody fighting in their perspective rays, and Bun's got to stay alive. Should be a bit easier now with the hit scans going down. Barrage 2 available for Bun. Really pops herself on the ground, spinning around, trying to dodge out of the way, even of the Juno, to be fair, who's a little bit higher than her. Squid eventually falls to Scuffed. And there it is, with the 60-second mark being reached. Rad X Avidity have finally won the fight after 4 Juno ults were deployed in the last couple of minutes.
That was such a scrap, and that took the majority of Avidity's time. And are they going to want to stick through this? It seems like Riker and Twools are aggressive enough to just try to access someone like Wub or Vision. So keep an eye on how aggressive these Orysas are going to be, because once that Orisa's gone, there's nothing to protect the rest of your team. That means a free Orisa to keep bowling down the pins that are your team. But Bun has Barrage, so does King. Fight for that window can be important. Rad got to be careful who's up there.
I got the Bob, okay, pretty nice to hold this choke. Wow, Twools taking so much damage. Barrage is coming in, surely, yeah. Vision used that coach gun to get Bun away from the rest of the team, and Riker snipes her out of the sky. The Bob being moved by Vision there slightly. You see him pushing him out of the bookstore. Wub trying to find a cheeky kill. Does pick up Squid, so I'm not sure how long TSM are going to really remain here without Squid, who's the majority of their healing.
Yeah, Bun got way too impatient. He just tried to conk in and just front the back, not even through the window, just out in the open. So easy shots. Vision is playing far back enough that it's hunting season for him to just shoot down Bun every single time. And Rad need to take the space, and they want to make plays, but you don't want to int for them either. 5 ults though for Rad.
Squid needs this Ray. They're going to start off with the rallies. They do know running into each other. Nice little stun either way. Bun ends up getting taken out by Squid in the Ray. And look at that damage coming through from King. A fully unleashed barrage in the orbital Ray. You are nothing but DNA on the concrete.
Just King being able to be directly above the fight, plus in the range of an orbital Ray, like, really good game plan, great execution, and Bun now has to swap. I love her Genji. The Pharah is having a tough time making those big plays just because of where TSM are positioning. They know how to play a Pharah, they know how to play against the Pharah. So expect Bun to be able to be more mobile and more impactful in this fight with the Genji. But all ults are gone now. This is all about the neutral.
Is indeed, yeah. Bun dashing in, quickly getting away. Just so far up, yeah. King just direct rocket to the face. So I think the pacing here from TSM too, a little bit quicker than Avidity. Avidity, they're trying to catch up. They're in a Corolla right now. TSM rocking the twin turbo V6 Nissan GTR, and with TSM now with only 50 seconds to go, they're in a very good spot of just like holding this archway. I mean, look at the ults. I mean, you've got the Bob. Avidity have absolutely nothing in their tank at all.
Vision is having an insane performance too. Like, he's building a Bob every fight. He's getting multi-kills every fight. His dynamite is ruining Avidity's
Bun isn't in this fight, Lemon. Bun's all the way in the background right now. And TSM decide, fine, if you want a 4-on-5, we're going to give it to you.
Oh, geez, this DPS duo, Vision and King, they're holding this choke perfectly. Rad just can't even get around the corner to know what target to focus.
Touches.
And this stagger kill just kills them.
Any touches? Oh, good conk. Surely there's somebody. Surely there's somebody. Avidity halted just after that archway. Man, TSM's defense, just spectacular.
The TSM are so good at switching it up. First, they sometimes have Vision on top of the window, sometimes very far back. And Rad, I mean, Bun especially needed to pressure that top window. She finally figured it out to go towards the top left and maybe wrap around, which would have been the longest flank ever, but something better than nothing. And Rad just could not figure out a creative route to... They could clearly not play this from front to back with how much damage was coming out of Vision and King especially. They held the power positions. Rad could not get close enough to even touch the DPS, and I don't even know if Riker died like throughout that point B sort of defense that they had. So really tough spot to leave the card if you're Rad. That means TSM basically have to cap the point, maybe one fight, depending on where the spots are for Rad. This is a very, very winnable map for TSM and starting to outclass Rad as a whole.
All right, Bun coming out on the Genji this time around, so no Pharah. Yeah, like you mentioned, I think Bun was struggling on that pick. Seeing King like pick it up, okay, I can match the Pharah. But a lot of the time, Vision was just chunking her out before you can even kind of approach an angle where you can shoot. I would love to see the Alari here from Squid. No stranger to it, to be fair. Okay, yeah, we are seeing the Alari. Oh, my day has been made.
A lot of DPS. Clearly, TSM don't feel like their backline can just get away with being more DPS heavy, bringing out the Alari and being more stationary off of her heels. And now with this Hanzo, you can easily climb up to the background. Watch out for the Stormbow. Coming out of Hotel is Wub, though.
I think
not sure what he's doing.
Wub is actually near the spawn at TSM. It is just so much damage with the Alari.
Out of Hotel, it was
right.
weird. Yeah.
So much damage. Yeah, hide behind the pylon. Insane tech. You're getting shot at, but the pylon's on cooldown, like off cooldown. Pop it in front of you, so they shoot the pylon instead of you. W play from Squid, looking great. All right, 5 and a bit minutes, Lemon. Sisyphus moment, I think, for Radix Avidity.
It's a really tilting moment for Rad, just kind of hitting their heads against the wall, not able to get through the choke on their attack, and now making uncharacteristic mistakes. Like, what maybe intended to tumble backwards instead of forwards and didn't have the backup and was already 1 HP. Thought he could at least go 1 for 1, and TSM just need pretty much one fight to win the map.
You only need one pick as well with this new Hanzo. It's pretty easy to do so. Even with the Alari too, you headshot the Alari. Little body shot with the arrows. You're as good as dead. Here comes the Ray from Scuffed. Bosaris is already down. Vision trying to back up. A lot of healing coming through. Oh, that headshot to Wubs. Straight too close to the sun there. Now, talking about the Alari either. This damage coming out from Vision. You're doing one-shots with this bow. Don't need headshots when you got that ult. Oh, King. A little bit of a light show. We didn't pay for that one. 4.5 minutes, and TSM gonna get held in their spawn by that captive Sun. It's all over, Lemon. That's it. That's a 2-0 for TSM.
Wow. I thought Rad were going to turn that fight when the Orbital Ray came out. Twolz died very early trying to hold the choke. I didn't think he realized that his backline were getting ran down, so Twolz just got stuck hoping some help was gonna come, and then, well, help came, the Orbital Ray, and Rad were trying to turn around that 4v5, and as they were playing off the 4v5 Orbital Ray, there's Vision headshotting them on a Hanzo, and Wub just had such a hard time trying to match up against that, and again, uncharacteristic of Rad. I think just frustrations on their end trying to get through a map that this was their pick. This is a map they were comfortable on, confident on, that they had success on, but clearly plan A, plan B, plan C isn't working out for Rad. So throw the whole book out the window, TSM on series point.
Zoe's Pred's still alive though. She did predict the 3-2. So, you know, TSM got their 2. Now, Radix Avidity, they get their 3. Okay. I'm starting to, you know, sow the seeds of deceit potentially for TSM, but realistically it might be a TSM 3-0. I think what we can see from this map specifically is it's just kind of outclass on the DPS currently. I think Bun and Wub have had a fantastic run through the bracket and in the group stage too, but King and Vision are just coming up with the numbers, and Bun struggling on that last map as well. I mean, they're a fantastic Pharah and a fantastic Genji, but I mean, King and the desk were speaking to it as well, Johnny specifically, right? And saying that King might be one of the best Genjis in the region, and that's saying something. But his Pharah is just out of this world currently. And a pick that's not really too common currently is still coming up with big damage numbers for the squad. We'll see where Radix Avidity want to take us. But any guesses where we want to go?
Continuing on any kind of Orisa-based map is going to be their go-to plan, and trusting in that mirror and avoiding Pharah maps. But also TSM, like, Overwatch is a game where you can't just turn your brain off and rely on mechanics. And what makes them such a good team is, yes, they have the mechanics, but the positioning as well, whether it's Vision on the top window, Vision playing back against the Pharah, taking pot shots, forcing Bun off the Pharah, to now being able to get away with Hanzo, being able to get away with Alari. Like, TSM did a great job of counter positioning against the composition they were up against and forcing Rad off their game.
You got full confidence if you're rocking the Hanzo and the Alari right now in this meta. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty scary too. As soon as that Orbital Ray comes out online, you're like, okay, now my arrow's just one shot. Like, you can't do anything. Like, you just sat there like, okay, well, I hope I don't get randomly hit by the Hanzo who's just spamming this corridor. And with the Storm arrows as well, it's like, yeah, good luck. You only needed that single ultimate really to push through that choke point. So regardless of Hanzo being a little bit off meta right now, I can see edge cases where it could work, especially in these very close quarters maps. Yeah, it's all in the balls in the court of Radix Avidity right now. They need to come back. This is do or die time for them in this bracket. Of course, the winner of this bracket will end up getting a free ticket to Stockholm, that free spot for North America. Toronto are already locked in, so will TSM end up beating Toronto in the finals? Can they continue their run in this lower bracket? Or can Radix Avidity come back? They're teetering on a knife's edge, and I'm hoping that wasn't too much of a bash to the confidence at King's Row as they get their second map choice of the series.
TSM have gotten really good at just punishing these mistakes out of Wub and Bun. Just thinking about Wub's tumble out of Hotel, costed them the point fight. Bun just conking in front and center as the Pharah. King Row's very dangerous for Pharah. There's not a lot of cover. So if you're going to go in, you need the backup and you need to be able to be in range of the DPS, especially the hit scans that you're going for. And Wub and Bun just dropping in those pivotal fight moments is costing Rad Avidity time and obviously energy and frustration on that front. If they could just look towards their back room to mentally stabilize themselves. They've been beaten up quite a bit today, and this could be your last chance to be an OWCS for the season, so you really want to put everything on the line, and they're choosing to go to Hanaoka, which is the map they faced off against Toronto, so clearly they were able to brush off what happened there.
Oh yeah, I mean you probably, I think every team's thinking that though when they face Toronto. It's like, okay, yeah, we're coming in as like vast underdogs. So we're happy with how we kind of played the map, so let's just play it again. Hanaoka, bit of a, yeah, we've seen, I feel like we've seen more Throne of Anubis. I'll have to get like an actual map stat on that one, but Hanaoka, a bit of a strange one, especially like with that high ground in the midpoint, which is, the midpoint is when you're going to spend, what, like 80% of the game? Whoever really controls that high ground just controls that entire point. It's so tough to come back because you're funneling up such a small choke point. It's really tough. Don't forget to get your tickets as well, down below. Look at that. Boom, lower third, looking great. Yeah, tickets Stockholm,
wow.
dreamhack.com/Stockholm, right? Yeah, /Stockholm. There you go. I can read the monitor.
Yeah. We know how to read.
Only
yeah,
just.
and you got good vision.
I don't.
And we also got a good vision on TSM. I don't know, King and Vision. Or you don't.
Well, I'm almost blind in my left eye, but we're chilling. It's a very, I'm not almost blind. I'm like, it's very blurry, you know. It's very blurry, but I'm chilling.
Oh, well, at least you're able to see Overwatch, because that's a tough one to do with half an eye.
My good eye.
Good job on that.
It's all good. We're chilling. All right, Hanaoka is the map. Yeah, Vision and King, Lemon. I mean, they are looking good.
They're peaking, yeah.
For sure.
Are we going to see a Lari, though? Like, is Squid really going to keep doing that? Because if they can keep poking Bun down, like, it's going to force her Genji to not be able to dash, not be able to initiate fights. And the desk spoke about the importance of Genji in this meta to break open fights, to get things rolling. And Bun hasn't been able to do that, and she feels pressured. Like, she is running out of time to do so, and she goes for these, like, really eager dives that are getting caught. So I'm expecting Bun to be back on the Genji and Wub to find Cassidy.
I never noticed that. That's Hanamura. I've never noticed that. Wow, that like screen previous. Also, there's 2 5s there. Where's the 4?
Wait, you just realized that this map is
what? Okay. I didn't just realize it's based on Hanamura, but that was the Hanamura gate. I didn't know it was like in the map.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm always just looked at my teammates' health bars. I don't explore the map. Okay.
That's so true. I look at the spawn room because that's where I'm at all the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't even notice the 2 5s, to be fair, so, you know. Maybe I am blind. No Alari, sadly. Oh, man. All good, though. Makes sense. Alari's not crazy on this map, to be fair.
King versus Bun for potentially the final showdown or the attempt at a reverse sweep. And how stable are Rad Avidity? Already letting TSM get the high ground.
Goodbye, Bun. That was a dash and a half. That's a very quick fight. Just got absolutely bonked. Okay, reset time. That's the first point to TSM.
Ooh. And I think if Rad are going to play a step back, play passive, that's okay to do, to play a reactive style, wait for the Genji to dash in, to not have a dash if he doesn't get an immediate kill. But the support's got to be on top of the healing game so that, well, your team doesn't die, 1, but 2, the opposing Genji doesn't get resets. So if they catch King without dash, that's the moment for Rad Avidity to punish. So I'm okay with them standing there and waiting, but got to do something.
Good wraparound here from TSM. I like what I'm seeing right now, putting Radix Avidity on an awkward angle to fight from. Scuffed a little bit too close there to the rest of TSM. Trying to use that speed ring, get some damage in, get some of those little micro missiles in too. Radx Avidity, they've got a chance to touch, although TSM have got half a point already and double support ultimates way before Radx Avidity have got theirs online. I mean, they could just pop one. They should be good for this. Great dash in from Bun to trigger overtime, but where is the follow-up? Bun now down, Werb throwing the nade out. That's going to be the cap as soon as they get rid of 12s. Liar just doing the good old-fashioned AFK strat on Brig.
Liar getting that rally 20% faster than NY is huge, because Bun dashed in to contest the point, which that should have been Twol's job. So Bun, the whole team of Rad got desynced on what the objective was there, and then Bun probably got CC'd by the rally and then got cooked, and then Rad have to push 4v5. So gotta make sure you contest that last bit there.
TSM have a very good opportunity to full cap this. It takes a long time, to be fair, so I don't want to speak too soon, but if they can kind of pace their ults here, this could be deadly for Radx Avidity. Here comes the Terror Surge, the Rally 2, but they're fighting inside the ult. This orbital rate is just disgusting from Squid, and the blade just cuts them clean in half. Radx Avidity basically used everything apart from their own blade. There's one tick. A second is incoming. Can Twol stop this one from happening? No, he cannot. Oh, Bun's dead. There's no blade.
Rad got a
There's just no blade. This is going to be a 5-0. Straight up. Wub down. Radx Avidity. Plunge spawning. Twol's down. This is going to have to be an insane play, but they're going up against the rally. I don't think there's any way she gets any damage off. The little micro missiles come in, but NY also falls. And that is going to be one of the fastest maps in Overwatch Esports history, with a 5-0 from TSM. A 5-0.
That was not pretty. TSM insanely dominant. Like the way Riker's taking space, even when they got jump scared by Rad Avidity coming from behind them. Like, TSM had the ults from just winning throughout that. It went from a snowball to an avalanche, having leftover rally, having leftover any ults as Rad Avidity came behind them. There's so much punishing power from TSM, but such huge desyncs from Rad Avidity of Bun not having any backup, or at least not being synced with the rest of the team who weren't ready. It's got to be one or the other. I don't know who's really making the mistake, but I'm seeing Bun trying to contest points, trying to initiate, but not having the initial damage there to make her life easier, not having the supports like just be on top of her. So it's just Rad Avidity succumbing to the pressure, being in the lower bracket, being in an 0-2 spot, and going up against a pretty fearsome team of TSM. Yeah, I know.
I need a time check on that, honestly. Like, well, I'm sure we'll get it at some point, but that has got to be the fastest map ever of all time. Like, a 5-0 like that on Clash. Insane stuff from TSM. They end up winning their match. A little clean 3-0. Moving through that lower bracket now. Radx Avidity eliminated. Let's jump over to the desk. I'm sure you guys literally ran here.
We actually did.
We did run over.
I'm low-key sweating, not gonna lie. I feel like we just barely left the stage, and here we are back again. Apologies are in order. TSM, I wasn't familiar with your game. But this is exactly the TSM we wanted to see. What?
Jake said that too. I can't believe you thought the same thing.
I mean, look,
like that.
They chose violence today. Like, I thought they'd been underperforming recently. You know, I think maybe I felt like they should be a team name value that should take it to the top teams in NA. And maybe now they're finding that form, right? Finding that confidence. Maybe Rad Avidity wasn't the team to test them, but they showed that when they are confident, when they get the ball rolling, it goes quick, man. And that was just aggressive moves. I mean, I don't think you can fault any one player on Radx Avidity, because at that point they're just getting run over. Like, it's a team effort there, and it's not any one player, it's everyone when the match is going that way.
Yeah, that one snowballed out of control, and it was exactly the players that you guys highlighted heading into this series, which stepped up to the challenge and really brought this one home.
Yeah, King on Genji, but also we saw a lot of King on Pharah, which is another variant you can really throw out here, right? I love that we saw like 1 or 2 Lijiang plays, and then it was straight over to King's Row.
It's not a long series, Johnny.
No, it was not a long series indeed. I mean, that's 5-0 Clash. That was insane.
Brutal.
Like,
that has to be the fastest map of all time.
That's like 2:45 to get full cap on Clash. I've been in a couple of games.
I mean, we've seen so little Clash thus far that they might have set a record.
Wow.
Maybe you could do push faster. Surely that's the fastest Clash we've seen in a pro match.
Yeah.
But for push, it might be possible to go faster. But we're talking about the actual theoretical limits of the map here. That's not a fun place to be for the opponents, at least.
Avril is on his featured co-streaming right now, and he's like, oh my god, Clash,
This is, to be fair though, this is really hard to do on Clash. Like,
Yeah.
to snowball third, I mean, snowballing through second is one thing, but actually capping third off the snowball is a bit of a crumble from Avidity. I mean, this positioning is so favored on third point, but they showed that you can get it done.
King getting the player of the match honors with the performance we've seen from King today, and quite frankly over the rest, spanning over the rest of his time here in the tournament. Excited to see more of that. Do love the Pharah looks. I do love the Genji looks. They show that versatility in their DPS department, and it's looking great for them.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, King is going to be a standout player, especially in a meta like this. We can play so many projectile heroes. You know, it's not every day we can see Genji and being played. So, you know, it feels like a bit of a blessing in this meta in particular. But it's a meta that really suits King, and so deservedly gets player of the match after a great far performance.
I'm gonna hop on, play some ranked. For Genji.
Yeah, this is your time, Jake.
It's my time to shine, baby.
Bring out the Pacific Genji.
Yeah, let's get out there. I will be rocking the Mythic, though.
I'll pull out my Genji too.
I'll be rocking the gold aspect Mythic very soon.
Do we want to see that?
It's like Diamond 4. That's great.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to say that. What I will say, I just have to talk myself off of the edge. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Everything's okay. I'm just trying not to get fired. Someone who's definitely going to get rehired is King with the performance we got to see today. What a transition. Also, we do have an interview with King, who's standing by right over there. So, Johnny, use them legs. Walk
Right on.
over.
It's like a Danny throwback.
That's right.
Oh, you got an applause from the team in the back. Who's behind you, King? Who's behind you, King?
That's Squid. Very happy to be here. So.
Oh, very happy to be there. Hopefully oh, there you go. Big applause, big applause. Oh, obviously a great player of the match performance there by you, King. How did you prepare going into this match here?
This match, we kind of just mostly just looked at our other matches before versus other teams and like changed our comps. Like we played I think a little bit too much Zen, so we're kind of slowing down on that. But yeah, we're just kind of just improving what we have like going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've been low-key, kind of like Zenyatta supporters on the desk, both me and Jake. We've been loving seeing it integrated more. It is a fun hero with the Discord Orb, especially on Orisa, so we're all for it. But yeah, we saw more Pharah and more Genji in this match in particular. I do want to do a bit of a throwback. You played Nightmare in the first round. We didn't cover that match on the broadcast officially, but what did you take away from that loss against Nightmare and something you could improve upon as this bracket kind of progresses?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just like how we used ults and like the way we played the comp. But after that match, like we learned a lot. So like I'm actually really confident for like our next matches coming up. So.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go pretty deep in this one if you want to make it to Stockholm, because I do believe TSM, you're fourth in circuit points behind Nightmare and NRG Shock. Obviously, it means a ton of you. So, you know, when you look at those teams, do you think Nightmare is like the team you're really looking to beat? How do you feel NRG stacks up against you? Because NRG, they took a loss to Fluffy Dreamland. Is that someone you think you could convincingly beat in a meta like this?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think versus NRG, like, it's definitely our meta to take, especially when it's slightly on the Genji side. So I think we're pretty confident going into those matches. Yeah, last question for you. There are a lot of good Genjis in the region. Sugar-Free, Zero, we've been seeing them pop off so far. How do you feel like your Genji stacks up to the other Genjis in the region? I would put my Genji high up there. Like, there's definitely a lot of good Genjis, like especially like new ones. Like Zero's really good, but I'd place my Genji pretty high. I'd say so. Yeah, it was a big treat to watch this game. So once again, congratulations on the win, King, and we're looking forward to see more from you in the rest of this tournament. All right, thank you. All right.